Welcome to the Explore podcast from EF Pro Cycling. Noemi Rüegg and Magdeleine Vallieres are two of the rising stars on our brand new EF Education-Cannondale squad. We are just a few weeks into the racing season, and already they have both earned wins, the first of their careers and the first in our squad's young history. We chatted with the pair about their backgrounds, racing outside of your comfort zone, and why the number 215 is so important to them. So join us on this ride as we explore the world of cycling together. My name is Catherine Ezra, and this is the Explore podcast. So did you both just get back from Valenciana last night?
Yes. Yeah.
How was it? It's a long drive.
Yeah, we weren't together because you flew yesterday, but us it was like 4.5 hours. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Did someone DJ for the drive, or was everyone with their own headphones in?
Yeah, I was DJing the whole time.
And how did she do?
She did great. She's always a good DJ.
Were you in the caravan or one of the cars?
The caravan, yeah, the van. We were like 6 in the van, so it was a bit crowded, but nice. Then we talked the whole way, so it went actually quite fast.
And Noemi, you got home okay last night?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah. Well, I almost actually missed my connection flight in Madrid. But yeah, I was really sprinting full gas to this gate, and the boarding doors were already closed, but they luckily let me in. But then my luggage didn't make it back home, my suitcase. Probably because I was so late, they already took it out. So yeah, but now it should arrive this evening. So that's good.
Well, it's a good thing you're a sprinter, because then you just sprint through the airport.
Yeah, I was writing to Emma. I was like, at least I won one sprint today. The one to the airport.
Yeah. Because Clara missed her flight, right?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. So she had to sleep in Frankfurt, and yeah, she made it back home this morning.
Oh no, after a stage race, the last stage is staying at the airport.
Yeah, the least thing you want.
Yeah, it's a bit awful.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this season so far. So think back to the night before our first race this season. What was the vibe like? What was the mood within the team? Mags, the night before the first race?
Yeah, it was actually good because we were like, I remember like the evening all at dinner, and then who did the speech already? There was one of the guy that did like
yes, yeah, I remember. I think, wait, what is his name? One of the Colombian guys, I think. What was his name? I can't remember.
No,
it was Tiol. It was Alberto Petiol. Yeah.
No,
yes.
Yeah. We were bad. Oh wow. Yeah. So he made a speech to like tell us like that we were like part of this new family, and they were like they couldn't wait to watch us, and that they would watch us and cheer for us and everything. So it was actually quite nice. And then we had like the team meeting before, and it was really good in the bus. Yeah, and then it's all very new with the new DSs, the new riders. So yeah, but I think we had a good plan and we were excited.
Were people feeling nervous? There was excitement. Was there a bit of nervousness? Was there a bit of just, let's see how this goes? Or I think I've trained well this winter. Now we find out.
Yeah, I think it's always a bit like this,
But also it was a bit strange. Like I struggled a bit like to get really into race mode, because we were like in this training camp mode and like really chilled vibes, and everything was like just nice, and we had such a good time. And then we're like, actually we're racing tomorrow. Like it feels really unreal. But yeah, I think that was also a good thing, that like the vibe was so relaxed and everyone was just looking forward to racing, but we had like no pressure, and just a lot of excitement.
Well, it seems to have paid off, because then race day came. It's Trofeo Phalanx. We're in Mallorca. And then the race is unfolding. Everything's going okay. And then it comes down to the final sprint. And Noemi, you sprint and you get the team's first ever win in team history. First win ever for EF Education-Cannondale in the team's first ever race. And it was your first solo win as a pro. What happened? How did that unfold?
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. I still actually can't really believe it when I'm thinking back. But yeah, the race was just actually perfect for us. We had everything under control. We were riding so well together. We went for the intermediate sprints, and everybody was really there. We were there with all of the girls in our train. And yeah, there was no moment in the race where we were panicking or not having the race under control. So yeah, that was perfect. And then we were coming into the final, and actually I was supposed to do the lead out for Corinne. So she was behind me, but then she lost my wheel in the final 2K. And I didn't realize that. She said it in the radio, but I couldn't hear that anymore. So I was convinced that Corinne was still on my wheel. And I was behind Alison, and Alison did her last pull. And then, I was like, okay, now I have to start my lead out, because otherwise Corinne will come around me and sprint, and then I haven't done anything. So I better start now. So then I started the lead out, and it was waiting until Corinne was sprinting past me, but she didn't. So I was like, oh, I have to keep going. And then I was crossing the line, and I was first, and I was so confused, because it was really not the plan, and I absolutely didn't expect it. So I also didn't celebrate. I was so confused. Yeah, but it was really nice.
Megs, were you somewhere that you could see this happen, or were you a bit further back?
Yeah, I was a bit further back, but when I crossed the line, I just saw Noemi on one side, and then some other girls on the other side, and I saw her she was looking so confused. So I went to her, and then I was like, well, so how was it? And then Corinne arrived, and she was like, oh, did you win? What do you mean, did you not win? And he was like, I don't know, I think I won. And she was so confused. But then, it was just the best moment ever. All of us hugging and oh my God, we actually won. Yeah. And then, crazy.
The best confusion.
Yeah.
But so Noemi, at what point did you kind of realize, well, I think Corinne's not with me anymore? At what point did you realize that you were just sprinting for yourself, or did you not really figure that out until after you finished?
Yeah, actually, I didn't figure it out until I finished, because we said in the pre-race meeting that Corinne will just pass me, and I don't really have to pull off. So I just sprint on as long as I can. So that's why I just kept going, and I was like, yeah, she must come. She will come. And then the line was already there, and I was like, what did just happen? And, and the finish, and there's a really funny video where she's like, yeah, did you win? And then I said I don't know. And then she said what do you mean you don't know? Did you cross the line first? And then I said, I think so, yeah. And then Corinne was like, yeah, you won. So
That's so ridiculous, but in the best way possible. So when you got back to the team hotel, the night before, Alberto Bettiol gives this great speech, encouraging and inspiring and motivating everybody, and everyone's feeling really good. So now that you've got the first win in the team's history, and I think the first win all season for EF Pro Cycling, men or women, what was the mood like at the hotel?
Happy and congratulating us. So also at the dinner, I remember I had to do a speech because we had champagne, but I was so nervous I almost didn't get a word out. But it was funny. No, the mood was super good, and you could really feel that everyone was just happy for us. Also the men's, they were.
Okay, so now it's the next day, Trofeo Palma Femina, and Magdeleine, this time you get the win. You've gone solo. You win by something like 16 seconds. So it's absolutely clear that you are going to win. What happened? How did that feel?
Honestly, I don't know. It was just really crazy. There's no word. I feel like the girls just worked the whole day perfectly. And then we got into the climbs at 90K, and I had done nothing. So I was fresh, and then the team asked me to be aggressive, so that's what I tried to do. And when I realized I was crossing the line, and I realized I actually won, I was in another world. I was really in shock. Also, a little bit, I knew I had won, but I also, in my head, I was like, yeah, it's not really possible at the same time. So yeah, I was like, maybe there's a break in front. But then, yeah, I was just really happy and to celebrate with everyone after also. Yeah, we crossed the line. So super special.
Mags, you said that the team had asked you to race aggressively. Do you consider yourself normally aggressive, or was this something that was a little bit outside your comfort zone, maybe being a bit more aggressive?
Yeah, it was actually quite out of my comfort zone because every race I've done so far, well, in the last 2 years was like, my role was more in the beginning of the race. I was working for a leader or for the team, doing like more like the work at the beginning. So I was not really there in the moments where like it was maybe more time to be aggressive in the final. So yeah, it was very different for me to be there and to try things.
So now that you have raced aggressively, does it feel like, oh, maybe this is something I should try more often? Or does it feel maybe like a one-off?
Well, I hope it's not a one-off. I hope I can do it more. I think the team, wants me to try to be more aggressive this year. And yeah, I think we all want to race a bit more with our heart and see what we can do. I think we have such a good team and we can all be, aggressive. I think that's how we'll beat the other teams.
And then for the second night back at the hotel, Noemi had made the speech after her win. Magdaleine, did you get a speech after your win, or were you also pretty nervous for that?
Yeah, I also did a speech, but I actually missed Noemi's speech because when she did it, I went to the bathroom and then I came back and it was done. So I was so disappointed to miss her speech. So I didn't really know what to expect. I knew she did a speech, but then I didn't know what kind of speech I had to do also. So I was really nervous as well. So it was not a great speech, but yeah, I also did one with my champagne glass that was that all the girls had filled too full. It was so full. While I was standing, it almost all fell on the floor. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was just really special, the atmosphere also after. I think now we scared a bit the boys because, we're to race to win. Yeah. So it was a good atmosphere.
Well, the men did get a win a few days later, so they must have been inspired by you.
Yeah.
But it sounds like almost the hardest part of winning is giving the speech afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mags, the day after you get your first pro win, how did you celebrate? What did you do the next day?
Oh, I was a bit cracked, I have to say. I went for a TT ride on the TT bike and it felt awful. But I celebrated by watching Noemi kill it again. And we went for coffee at the Rafa shop in Mallorca and we had all the pastries and some coffee. So it was good. Yeah.
And did you also take an exam not long after your win?
Yeah, I took an exam, but not the day after, the day after the day. Yeah. 2 days after. Yeah, it was a bit too much.
So you had one full day to rest before you had to start using your brain.
Yeah, I actually had to study quite a lot the day after to make sure I was ready, but yeah, it's fine.
And how did it go, the exam?
Yeah, it was actually not as bad. I just to tell you how prepared I was, I thought it was 4 hours, but it was actually an hour and a half. So yeah, it was great. It worked. I passed.
Good. We're glad to hear it. Don't worry. We won't make you give a speech every time you pass an exam.
Okay. Thank God. That would be pretty bad.
So let's talk a little bit about the team. It's the first year for EF Education-Cannondale. We had camp in December. You've now had a couple of races with the team. Most recently, you were both at Setmana Ciclista Valenciana. How are things going within the team? Noemi, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, really good. I think we're doing super well. I think, we showed from the beginning of the season that we are racing as a team. And already there we could feel it felt like we were racing already for years together, actually. So I think we're on a really good path. And still we're learning with every race more and more. But I think, we set a really great start for being such a new group of girls together. But the atmosphere is just amazing. We get along really well, and it's just couldn't be happier.
And Megs, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like everyone's really clicking and gelling together? Both the staff and the riders?
Yeah, I totally agree. Everyone is just so nice, and I think the atmosphere like actually plays such a big part on how we feel in the races as well. We just recover better if we can like actually like be happy after the race, even like whatever happened, it's like we're moving on, or like we're celebrating or learning from it, and yeah, and then we can just be happy all together and enjoy some time. So yeah, it's it's perfect.
So just as the team is very, very young, team's in its very first season, as we know, you're both still pretty young. You're both just 22, but you've both been racing professionally for a few seasons now. Magdaleine, how do you feel that you've been developing, and do you feel like you're heading in a direction that you're really excited about?
Yeah, I mean I feel like I'm getting stronger every year and just getting more comfortable in the bunch, and I don't know, I feel like in the last races I've done with the team, so Mallorca and Valenciana, I feel like I've already just learned so much, and it's for sure in the good direction, because after every race we do like a debrief, and we just like tell each other what we should have done better, what we did well, and I just feel like I can take a lot from these debrief, and just from racing with the girls that are like we're all pushing each other forward. So yeah, I'm for sure developing.
And Noemi, how do you feel about your trajectory? I mean, you've now gotten your first individual win with your new team. Does it feel like things are moving in the right direction for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy. I think my goal for this season was that I can, get myself more into the finals and being present in the finals. And yeah, it started perfectly. I really didn't expect that this would happen so quickly, but I'm super happy, and I think I'm really on the right path, and I can't wait for everything what's to come.
Magdalene, you mentioned that there's a debrief after each race where all of you riders and staff let each other know what went well and what could go better next time. What's the sort of structure to those debriefs? Is it sort of everyone can just jump in, or does someone lead it? How does that go? Because that could be something that's a little sensitive or a little rough to hear at times, depending on how a race has gone. So how are those meetings set up?
Yeah, the DS coach always like ask us about our day, but we all go individually, like all together, but we all say one by one, how was our day? And we explain like our day was, because one thing is like after a race, I feel like everyone has a different story and everyone see things differently. So that's why it can also be hard, so that you can hear everyone how it went. I feel like it makes a big difference, because then you know like how the others were seeing it, like the same moment that you saw differently. And then if I like, we always have also like the captain that actually says a little bit more, because she also looks at like what the others done. So and then she can say, oh well, at this moment like this was good, but you could have done it this way and this would have been better. And yeah, just like positive feedback. I think communication is really important, and as long as we're all open to it, then yeah, it's good, and it makes us all move forward. So.
And when both of you got your wins, so for example, Noemi, you in particular were not necessarily the person who was quote unquote supposed to be sprinting that day, but just given the fact that you're both quite young, but you're both very experienced at the same time, and definitely growing and definitely eager and hungry and excited and motivated, does it make you feel, Noemi, like, oh, maybe there are some days when I might be a leader, or, just sort of depending on what happens on the road, maybe then I'm the second leader kind of thing? Does it give you a bit of motivation for maybe pushing your own boundaries and pushing yourself beyond just being a support rider and maybe thinking about your own results a little bit?
Yeah, that gave me a lot of motivation, but also, I put myself a bit under pressure, because I know, the girls are like riding so well for me, and they're all so committed for the plan and going for the sprint for me. So then I really want to give them something back for all their work. So that's putting me also a bit under pressure, and it's a role that I'm not really used to. So I still have to grow in it, but for sure it's really motivating me, and I want to do the best I can, and not only for myself, but really for the team, because I also know, how it is for the others who are working all day, because I've been in this position also for a long time. But I also really like the role of being a helper, because I think that's also a bit my natural, that I just like being with people and like helping others. So yeah, I like to have like a good balance of both.
And Noemi, even though it's your first season on the team, you've worked with Ezra Trump, our general manager. You've worked with her before. So when you were coming aboard to the team and signing, was there something about the idea of working with Ezra that seemed really exciting and appealing to you?
Yeah, she's such a good woman. She only wants the best for us and the best for the team. And you can really feel that. And so I knew if I follow Ezra, like there's nothing I'm doing wrong. Like I can only win if I follow her, because she's doing such a good job and I just really trust her. So yeah, there was actually no big doubt about that.
And Magdalene, it's your first season working with Ezra, but you've known her for several months at this point now. How do you feel like things are going with Ezra and just within the team overall?
Yeah, it's super, super good. I met her in person for the first time at our camp in December, and she's really awesome. Like, you can see everything is just so like organized, and she's just, like Noemi said, like you can see she really cares about everyone, and she just wants the best. And I feel like all of these like things you can feel, and it just makes you want to push yourself like that extra bit further. And like the whole team, I mean everyone, you also, Catherine, like everyone, like it makes a difference to have like so many just good people around. So
I agree, we definitely have a lot of really good people around, and it is pretty motivating and pretty special.
Yeah.
Well, thinking also about the team still being new, of course, there are going to be, some hiccups along the way and some bumps in the road. But what are some of the infrastructure, or what are some of the resources that you've got access to within the team that just make your lives a little bit easier?
Well, I think actually everything. We have such a good support in any area, like nutrition, medical things, all the bike things, like the material, like everything is sorted and everything is really the best for us. So yeah, there's actually nothing that we really have to worry about except our own training. So yeah, I think actually, if we have any troubles or any issues, there's always a professional that we can go to, and they will listen and help us. So I think, that's a really good infrastructure.
Yeah, just very professional in everything. Like, you never need to really worry about anything. And if you're afraid to ask something, like you're never actually afraid, because everyone's just ready to help. So
let's think a little bit about your goals. So you both now have had your first pro wins under your belt. I mean, that was probably a goal, but it's also sometimes one of those goals where you think, oh, it'd be cool if this happened, but I'm not counting on it. But you've already achieved a huge goal, and it's only February. So what's next? What's your next goal, Magdalene? What else are you looking to happen in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit crazy because, it was one of my goals, but it was like a long-term, I guess, goal. I didn't think it was going to be so fast. So, so now moving forward, one of my big goals this year was to become a better climber, to be able to help the team, or if, I got at some point an opportunity to be able to prove myself. So, I just want to become a better rider, like for the team and for myself. So
I think in your training this off season, I think you added a bit of running to your preparation. Is that right? How did that go?
Yeah, good. I actually really love running. It's just to switch it up now. Now during the season, I don't really run, but during the off season, it was a nice change to do something a bit different.
Well, there's no shortage of stairs for you to run in Girona, that's for sure.
Exactly. I tried a couple of them for sure already.
And Noemi, what are your goals for this season now that you've already achieved a big win?
Yeah, I think I'm still really excited about the classics. This is one of my big goals this season to, if I get a podium in one of the big classics, that would be really amazing. So originally, my goal was to get a podium or a win this season. So I already achieved that. So I guess, I have to set the goal higher now. No, but just, I just want to improve in the classics and now also in my sprint ability. And if I could qualify for the Olympics this year, that would be a really big dream. So yeah, some nice goals ahead.
Okay, I have possibly the most important question yet to ask. Okay, what does room 215 mean to both of you?
It means everything. 215 is like the perfect number, perfect room number with the two youngster that we are. I don't know.
So Noemi, tell us, what does room 215 actually mean? What does it refer to?
Yeah, it's the room number of our room that Max and me shared in training camp in Mallorca when we both got our first professional wins. And yeah, it's really special because I don't know, it's just we were rooming together, we were having such a good time, and then we both got our first win together, and yeah, like sharing this in the same room was even better. And yeah, I remember also actually the night before the first race, like before going to bed, I was like, or Max I think said like, I imagine we would win tomorrow as a team, like this would be crazy. And we were just like dreaming about that. And then the next day we literally won. And then I said, yeah, Max, like imagine we win again the next day, like dream big, we can do it. And then Max won the next day. And then we started making fun about it because like everyone obviously knew we were together in the room. So like 215 is now a bit of a joke. Like everyone knows we were in room 215. So when anything happens, we were like, yeah, of course we're two.
Yeah, and also now during like after the races when we were training, if like it was like intervals or something, or we would pass each other, like we would always say like 215, 215. And also in the races this weekend, we were like every time we passed next to each other, like 215, even if we're like dying. So I feel like we'll remember this room forever. Like, and I like to say that Noemi shined so bright after her win that like it made me wanna also push myself that much further. So I think, yeah, the room 215 was like something special for sure.
Were you two roommates at Valenciana at all?
No.
Well, that's why we didn't get a win. Did you not tell the sports director, hey, we need to room together, this is how we win?
Yeah, I think now they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we have to put them back together because yeah, we need to push a little bit more to be in the same room maybe. But I have to say I love every girl, so I'm always happy with anyone, but 215 is something special. So
well, Noemi, tell us, how did you become a professional bike racer? Where did this come from?
Older brother Timon, he's 5 years older than me. He was already like at some races and mountain biking, so I always went to watch his races. And then one day I was like, yeah, I want to try this as well. I tried it and I did my first cyclocross race and I really loved it. And yeah, ever since I'm on the bike. Yeah, also with my father being like the coach of our local cycling club made it quite easy for me to join and yeah, be with them. And then it got kind of a family thing to just go to the races on the weekends. And yeah, that's how I came into it.
And at what point did you really start to think, oh, I could actually be a professional cyclist, not just someone who rides on the weekends?
Yeah, well, actually, it was never really my dream when I started cycling. I just had so much fun and I didn't really think about my future at all. I just, wanted to race now. But then I did an apprenticeship also, like a normal one, not a specific sport-related apprenticeship. So in that time, it was quite hard to combine the sport with the school and everything. But then it was also the time where I got actually quite good in it. So after my apprenticeship, I was like, okay, now I have to decide if I want to do that more professional. And then I decided to do a little less working and focus more on cycling and better results. And then I was like, yeah, okay, now I think I really want to get a professional. And then I got some contract offers of some bigger teams. And then, yeah, that was actually coming also a bit earlier than I expected. So, yeah, became professional.
So what was this apprenticeship? Is this something that everyone in Switzerland does or just people in a certain path?
No, it's quite common in Switzerland that you do an apprenticeship. Like you either do an apprenticeship or you go to university to study. But I did the apprenticeship and it was 3 years as a care worker in a home for disabled people. And yeah, it was really an interesting job. I really loved it as well.
Did you get to choose what your apprenticeship was? How do you end up with that particular apprenticeship?
Yeah, we could choose that. And I don't know, I'm just somebody who really likes people, and I love helping people and being here for others and making others happy. So yeah, that was kind of the job where I could do all this. And my mother also used to work in that area, so she always told me stories about it. And then yeah, I went to like for 1 week to have like a testing week to see if I like it. And yeah, I really loved it. So I knew that was the job I wanted to do.
And Magdalene, how Noemi was saying that her dad ended up playing a big role in her becoming a cyclist. I think your dad also played a role in you eventually becoming a cyclist. Is that right?
Yeah, he's the one that introduced me to the sport for sure. He brought me to do this crazy trip. My mom lives like 1,000 kilometers from where I used to live in Quebec, and so we did. I was 9 years old, and I had my little bike with my little bike rack, and we put luggage on it, and we did like camping all the way, and we rode there. It took us like 9 days. So, and then after that, I was hooked. Yeah, it took a while until I got into like racing and everything, but yeah, I just knew that was like my passion right right after that I just needed to ride the bike more.
I still have some questions about this 9-day 1,000-kilometer bikepacking trip. And I know you and I have talked about this independent of this podcast, but I will never not be fascinated by this trip. Can you tell us a little bit, what were the conditions like? Like, were you really excited? You're 9 years old. This is an incredibly long bikepacking trip to go with just your dad. And I imagine you had, like you said, bags on your bike. What was that like? Was it physically exhausting? Were you really strong and able to do it no problem?
Yeah, I was so strong. No, I don't know. I think like we were leaving like at 7 a.m. and coming like at 6 p.m. Like it was taking us the whole day to ride like 100. Like I think our biggest day was 135 kilometers. So like it really was taking us like the whole day. I think it was probably rougher for my dad because I mean, being with like a kid for like this long on a bike, like and pushing them to like keep going. I don't think I was never like, oh, I want to stop or anything, but I probably was talking a lot or something. Probably, yeah, I was maybe, I don't know. But I think the biggest motivation were like all the like food stuff and like, you know, we were like leaving camping and then like leaving for the day, stopping for this huge breakfast, and then we're getting to the next place, and then yeah, but like I feel like it was like a challenge I wanted to do, and of course once you start you don't want to, I don't know, I didn't want to give up, so yeah. And then I think like day 3 or something I had like this crash and I opened my knee, and then like it could have been the end of the trip, but then yeah, I feel like for me if I start then I don't want to stop. So
and I think you have a story that involves, you said that you were camping most of the time, but I think there was one night when you got to stay in a hotel. Is that right?
Yeah, oh, that was the best because like it was like raining, it was like pouring rain. Actually, there was 2 days like this, but this day was like crazy, so much rain, and then it was like actually hailing at some point, and like the hail like was like big like golf balls. Which seems crazy, but it was really like this because, well, there was like so much wind also that I got like thrown off into like a ditch. And then like my dad was like, okay, maybe we need to like find a place to stay because maybe this is a bit too intense. So we stopped like at the first hotel we saw. Actually, it was a bed and breakfast. And when we got there, we were watching the news and they were actually saying it was golf ball size hailing. So. And then I felt like a queen or a princess because I was like in this robe and then I was like in this comfy bed after sleeping on the ground the whole few days. And I had hot chocolate. Yeah, it was, I mean, for a kid, I feel like just a small thing they make like, it feels like the best thing in the world. So, yeah.
And when you eventually got to your mom's house then that summer after that massive bikepacking trip, did you ride your bike?
When I got to my mom, yeah, no, I don't think I touched the bike. I think that was enough. But when I got home to Sherbrooke, like at the end when school restarted, my dad like put me into this small club, and yeah, but then I don't think I was that interested. But yeah, it took a while then after to actually get more into it. But yeah, just riding with my dad a little bit and doing more bikepacking, smaller one, but yeah.
And then you eventually had to leave Canada just because there are only so many opportunities for women to become pro racers and to get the experience they need in Canada. So where did you go and what happened then?
Yeah, actually, I started, when I was junior, I did like road mountain bike and cyclocross. So then I got some opportunity with cyclocross to do like World Cups and everything, worlds in Europe. So that was like I was junior. I think I was actually 17, maybe. Yeah, anyway. And then that's how like I actually got to Europe the first time, and I saw like this whole different world and how like actually cyclists were like cool over here. So yeah, and then got to the World Cycling Center for road as my first year elite, and that's how I got into the scene here and the first few races were actually really rough, but then we fell in love with the racing.
But you wanted to stick with it even though those first couple of years were really rough?
Yeah, I think mostly like the first race was like I think I got like pulled out after like 15 or 10K or something. So, and then I got lost in Belgium and it was cold, and yeah, it's another story. But yeah, but then the race after went better and better, and yeah, then it's okay.
And I know that you can do an incredible track stand. You can hold it for a really long time. When and where did you learn this?
When I was in high school, actually, we had like this sport program, concentration. And at first, I went into that program at first because I had done all this bike packing, and I was like, oh, I'm such a great cyclist, I should go there. And then I got my ass kicked over there, but it was mostly mountain biking, so I kind of learned how to ride on a mountain bike, and we had a lot of like drills and stuff to do. There was this game, actually, that's where I learned it the most, was a square, and then you had to like be all in the square, and the last one standing was the winner. And like, of course, I wanted to win, so I practiced a lot, and then that's how like now I normally can stand for a while. I like it.
I definitely hope that at camp next year that one of the team, I don't know, maybe it's not a team building thing because it's a clear competition of who can win, but I do hope that next year at camp you get to challenge anyone you want to a track stand, and I really want to see who goes the longest.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. We also always do it a bit at the stoplight. Like there are some of the girls that do it. So yeah, I think there could be a good competition there.
I want to talk a little bit more about Room 215. So you have already roomed together. And as we all know, rooming with someone, living with someone is one of the fastest ways to get to know a person. So I want to test you both. How well do you actually know each other? So I've got questions, and let's see. So my first question, I want Magdeleine to answer and then Noemi. So Magdeleine, where is Noemi from?
Switzerland.
Can you be more specific? Where in Switzerland is she from?
I cannot.
Okay, so half a point for Mags.
The German part.
Your competitive side came out the second I said you didn't get full points. You suddenly were like, wait, I can be more specific. Okay, Noemi, where is Magdeleine from?
From Canada, Quebec.
This is true. And can you be more specific? Just because Magdeleine, in her story, she did say the name of the town where she lives.
Oh dear, no, I forgot. I only know it's in
the
Quebec.
judges give you both half a point for that one.
That's an important part. So yeah, it's good.
All right. So just for those people who are playing at home, Magdeleine, where are you from in Quebec?
I'm from Sherbrooke. Yeah, the town.
Noemi, where in Switzerland are you from? Apart from just the German part.
Near Zurich.
Okay, this next question. Noemi, how old is Mags?
That's easy.
She's, same age as me, 2001. So she's 22. No, 20. Yeah, Wait, it was not your birthday yet. Yeah, 22. Yeah.
Okay, so Noemi, you just made this really easy for Mags. Mags, how old is Noemi?
No, I already knew, of course, because we talked about it so much. 22.
Okay, so
but I don't know when is your birthday. Yeah. Oh, it's not good, huh?
I think I know when Noemi's birthday is. I think, Noemi, is your birthday April 19th?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's impressive.
I'm a judge, so I don't get points, though. But Noemi, do you know when Mags' birthday is?
No, but I think someone in summer? June?
Don't check. Don't cheat. Oh,
no, I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating.
Later in the summer. Later.
August.
August sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Okay, I'm guessing August 21st.
No.
August 10th?
What is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is my job, though, to know these things about you two, though. So Magdalene is August 10th, and Noemi, you're April 19th.
Okay, I'll take a note. 19.
Okay. Mags, what languages does Noemi speak?
German, well, Swiss German, and then English. And then she understands a bit of French, because sometimes she understood what Clara and I are saying, so I feel like, yeah.
Noemi, does that sound right to you? English, German, and a bit of French?
Yeah, perfect. Correct.
So Noemi, what languages does Magdalene speak?
She speaks French, English, and I think she's now learning a bit of Spanish. At least she's trying on Duolingo, I think.
Mags, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But it's correct also that it's trying to, because it's not great.
Megs, maybe with some of the staff, you can practice your Spanish.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah.
Okay, so far, both of you are tied with 2.5 points. Okay, Magdalene, what is Noemi's strength on the bike?
Well, she's learning what it is, but the more and more she's figuring out that actually she's quite a good sprinter, but she's actually still a good climber. And then she's kind of an all-rounder, I would say, but like a good sprinter all-rounder is what I would say. She's good everywhere, but yeah.
Noemi, does that sound accurate to you? Should we give her points for that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say no. No. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm slowly getting a sprinter.
Slowly. You are a sprinter.
Yeah.
Okay, Noemi, what is Mags' strength on the bike?
Max is a good climber and a good breakaway rider. She's aggressive, has a good instinct, and really strong for breakaways or attacks.
I gotta say, that sounds right to me. Mags, does she get full points for that?
Yeah, it's so nice of you to say. Wow.
Okay, Mags, next question is to you. Is Noemi studying, or does she have a degree in anything at the moment?
She's not studying at the moment, but she already has her degree that she could work now. She done all her thing. So, yeah.
Noemi, full points for that response?
Yeah, full points.
Okay. And Noemi, does Magdalene have a degree, or is she currently working towards one?
She's currently working towards one because she did this exam when we were at the training camp. But that's now hard to say what exactly. I think it's something with communication, something, or like, no, not. But you, with this degree, then you can it's good if you want to run your own business. You actually know everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Megs is on her way to knowing everything.
Yeah. Slowly getting there.
Noemi, this question's easy for you, I think. If you've been paying attention, which I think you have been. What is Magdalene's favorite food?
Yeah, for sure. Corn. Everything with corn.
This is 1000% correct.
Yeah, in every variation. And also, she also loves her air fryer.
I was trying to think of a question where I could make you say air fryer, and you've already done it. So, yep, these are two of the most important things to know about Magdaleine. I think she loves corn and she loves her air fryer. Okay, Mags, pressure's on you now. What is Noemi's favorite food?
That's hard. She looks more balanced than me. Well, I know she likes oats in the morning with some berries and then some yogurt also. But she looks a lot more balanced. It looks like there's more like variety. So it's a bit harder to say. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, it is actually true. Like, I don't have really a specific favorite food. I kind of like everything. And yeah, like the oats we had in training camp, they were really good. Like, they were made by the chef, lemon chia oats. They were so nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good job.
Okay, Mags, what would Noemi be doing if she was not a pro bike rider?
She would be, you said it earlier, but I don't know if I'm right, but the word you were saying maybe was a bit different, but like a nurse, right? No?
Yeah, like a care worker more.
Okay, and Noemi, what would Mags be doing if she was not a rider right now?
Maybe you would start a bike shop again, but I'm not sure because I think you said maybe you won't do it again. But I would see you like running your own bike shop again and doing some nice tours, organizing some gravel tours for people.
Mags, does that sound about right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I think something in that realm for sure. I think that's something I would do.
Okay, so I'll be honest, I've lost count, but you each have the same amount of points, that's for sure. So I think definitely some magic happened in room 215 where you both know a whole lot about each other in a pretty short amount of time.
And do you want to hear something even more crazy?
Yes.
Well, so on the day after the races, I checked my recovery score on Whoop, and then I'm like, oh, I wonder what was my recovery score on the day, on the race day. And then I remember I was in the yellow, but like high yellow. So then I check and I see 54. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll go see in the group, which like recovery everyone was, because that's something I would do. And then I look on the day, so the first race, the race Noemi won, and I see she was 54. And I was 54 the next day when I won. So I think there's something special going. I don't know. But 54 is the new 100%. 99 on the Whoop, because you cannot have 100%. But yeah.
So we've got 215, 54. You're both just collecting a whole lot of really important numbers together.
Exactly.
Yeah, when we realized that, like, we were laughing so hard that Alison and Corinne, they were like our neighbors in the room. They heard us laughing so hard, and then they had to come over. It was already like 10:30 in the evening, so we were actually supposed to sleep. They were like knocking on our door. They were like, "What is so funny?" And yeah, then we had to share it.
So they ask you what's so funny. You open the door and you say 54.
Yeah, pretty much. But also because Corinne can keep like this really like straight face and like very serious face. Yeah. So like we weren't sure if we were like in trouble or but then Alison cannot be serious, so we like knew that it was not serious, but yeah, it was actually quite special.
I love it. Let's look ahead. We've talked about your goals already, but what are your hopes and dreams for the future, just in general, maybe on the bike, maybe off the bike? Magdaleine, what are you looking forward to in the future? What are you excited about?
Yeah, I want to, I think, one more races with the team. That's like the biggest goal. And I mean, someday I want to go maybe also to the Olympics or win one of the big monuments or stage race.
Well, you're already off to a good start this year, so maybe this is your year.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see, I don't know.
Noemi, how about you? What are some of your dreams and hopes for the future?
Yeah, as well, like just having fun on the bike as long as possible. Just enjoy every day and every minute I have on the bike. I think it's a huge privilege to live this life that we have. And yeah, I want to continue living this dream like for as long as possible. And also inspire others to ride their bikes and inspire them with our style of racing. And I mean, result-wise, win some races and go to the Olympics one day. But I think most important just to keep having fun and be a good team member and make others happy.
Wow, your answer was so good. Was better. I take her answer as well.
No.
It's like how you missed hearing Noemi's speech, so you had to just guess. Maybe it turned out that her speech was really amazing after her win.
It for sure was, but I have no idea.
It wasn't.
Noemi,
you can just keep telling her that it was amazing because she'll never know either way.
I came back into the room and everyone was happy and cheering, so I'm sure it was pretty great.
I'm sure it really was pretty great. And I think you both will have a lot of opportunities for things to celebrate for the rest of the season. So thanks, Noemi. And thanks so much, Mags, both of you, for your time. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You just listened to the Explore podcast from EF Pro Cycling. My name is Catherine Ezra. This show was produced by Johannes Manson. Editing by Ben Crannell. Music is by Builders T. A special thank you to Noemi Rüegg and Magdeleine Vallieres. We'll be back soon with more stories from the road. Thank you for listening.